Are you ready for Zelda and Mario to come to the Nintendo VR goggles? And that looks pretty interesting for VR users and Switch players alike. So it is coming, and we're going to find out some dates and some other cool little things going on with this. So let's just jump into it. So basically, the ToyCon is the cardboard things that you can make and that will work with your Switch. Some of them are little cameras, some of them are little toys you can play with, but they're little games along with the cardboard things that you will make as part of the activity. So pretty cool stuff. There's some other developer-y stuff you can also do, but that's what the ToyCons are. And they just recently announced the ToyCon VR set. So this is Nintendo Switch VR mini games, and there's a couple of them. It's $80, but they're split into two packs. You can get the goggles and the blaster for $40, and the other couple for $40 if you want to just start it off, or you just want to play the Zelda or Mario game, you'll just get the $40 pack. So that is pretty cool. And basically, there are a bunch of little mini games that you'll actually hold up to your face for VR games. They're not games that will actually, there's no strap included, so you're not going to be playing them for a couple hours. They're a little bit more designed to be shorter games that you can pass around to friends and interact with other people at the same time. So you're going to hold them up like a camera or a bird or an elephant, different things like that. And the Joy-Con controllers are in different places. So pretty cool for VR. But what we're seeing today is that they're going to be adding their other Nintendo Switch games. And it looks like they're starting with Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild. So there is a couple different unique things what they're doing with this. The Super Mario Odyssey, they're kind of making it like a temporary style thing. So let's just jump into the video because why not? So basically there's going to be 3 areas where you'll start playing the VR, and basically it's like 3 new content things are also adding to the Super Mario game. So 3 new mini missions is what we're talking about. So you'll be able to do these in the 3 different areas, and you'll be able to hold it up to your face. We're not 100% sure the exact usage, but it looks like it could be pretty cool for Mario fans and Nintendo Switch VR players. Something else to do. And this is a free update to these games, so you'll need the game, you'll probably need the VR goggles, which is in the $40 pack, and then you'll be able to do this. And the updates are coming on April 25th, whereas the VR kits are coming April 12th. And then we have a Zelda. So it looks like the Mario is in 3 small parts of the game. It's not like the whole game throughout is going to be VR, but Zelda Breath of the Wild does seem like it's just a setting menu that you can turn on and start playing in VR basically. The only thing that isn't rendered in VR is the pre-rendered cutscene, so that won't be compatible in the VR mode. So, but running around in the game, it looks like you can do in VR, and there's a couple little tidbits we get from this. So here's the settings that you just go into settings, options, and turn on the ToyCon VR goggles. So that is pretty cool, pretty easy. You do not need to start a new save file to enjoy this VR experience. So you won't have to start a new game. Sometimes you'll have to start a new game for certain things. So that's good that you don't have to do that. It's just a quick, easy setting and explore the Hyrule Kingdom. So cool there for Nintendo Switch owners who are looking at this VR kit. So the couple things that everyone's probably most concerned about is that the resolution on the Nintendo Switch is pretty low compared to VR headsets that have high resolution and high frame rate or high hertz panels. So those are the 2 things. I believe it's 60 hertz and it's a lower, like a 720ish p resolution. So it is definitely more designed for shorter term in games, like the camera game that you'll hold up to your face for 10-20 minutes or something like that. And then the Mario ones where you could be playing the game, then you'll go to the different mini missions, play these for 10-20 minutes, because again, there's no straps, so you're not going to be playing this for hours. But Zelda does seem like you're going to be running around, so interesting to see how people experience the lower resolution for a VR title, as well as the low hertz, 60 hertz, so you'll only really be getting 60 FPS if the game even plays at that high, which I think some people mentioned it doesn't even get that high. So pretty interesting to see them trying to do a full experience in VR. We'll see how that goes, obviously. And again, this is April 25th for the 2 game updates, which will enable the VR, where the ToyCon VR Labo kit is coming out April 12th, and you can buy in 2 kits of $40 or the full kit for $80. So cool VR stuff is coming. If you're into Nintendo and VR, you can now do a little bit of both. So that is pretty good. And we also get to see a couple other VR things mentioned today if you want some more VR news. So we get from the PlayStation blog an in-depth look at the 3D rudder motion controls for the PSVR. So this is a little foot pedal that you can use. It's got tilt and a little bit of pressure sensors to give you even more faster speeds. So basically what we're going to see is, I believe it was originally set for April. We did a video about this back at CES, talking a little bit about it. And basically I thought it was set for April, but it looks like June 17th is maybe when it got pushed back to, and it's going to be compatible with 25 games. So you'll free up your hands, which is a pretty cool use case for VR. And they talk a little bit about the backstory of 10 years ago when they were thinking of the idea of for, I believe, designing stuff. Their wrist was starting to hurt, so they decided, oh, maybe we want to use our feet to change the camera angle while we're using our hands to design stuff. So this isn't just for PSVR, PS4 VR games, technically. So pretty interesting. So basically the design is the more angle to tilt, the faster you move. That combines with the IMU and the pressure sensors, so that's pretty good. You connect it with just a USB, and it is compatible with the PlayStation Move motion controllers, obviously, as well as the aim controller and the DualShock 4 controller. So cool there. And then they talk a little bit more how it improves your gameplay. Again, it frees up your hands so you can play like this cool lad, playing games with their feet and their hands while sitting comfortably. So you get a little bit of leg exercise and arm exercise, because the VR is pretty hectic for motion exercise, you could say. So here's the 25 games, a bunch of games listed, and again the price is 119 euros or pounds, and you can also start pre-ordering this on their website. So pre-orders are out, and again launching 17th of June. So a little bit of a news update on that story. And another VR topic last for the day is going to be ASW 2.0 for Oculus. So ASW is the asynchronous space warp. So this does two different things basically. It's going to be doing time warp, which will reduce the latency, so you'll get less, it could help with like motion sickness and people getting bad experiences, as well as time or space warp. So time warp is latency, and space warp will smooth out the frames. So it can take 2 frames and put a frame in between and make it more smooth. So you're only getting 45 FPS. You can put a bunch of extra frames and get 90 FPS potentially. So that is the benefit, and that was ASW 1.0, and where 2.0 is improving, which is, I believe, out now, and then developers will have to add support, which I believe they said at the bottom is kind of easy. So it should be a quick update for developers to get this working in games. But the 3 main benefits we're going to see is improved performance with severe frame rate drops. So ASW 1.0 didn't do too well when FPS dropped below 45. So 2.0 is more acceptable under the 45 frame rate. So if it goes down to 40 and it's now making 80 frames, it looks better. So that is good. And this is also doing a little bit of positioning time warp. So previously you would only, with 1.0, you could only do like headset rotation, 3 degrees of freedom for the different time warping features. So now it is doing 6 degrees and adding that extra depth from moving and positioning. So that is going to improve it pretty good there. And so that's going to lower 6 degrees of freedom headset tracking latency. So that is good, as well as there were some other error/artifacty issues with patterns and like stripes and everything. So we see a little quick 4-second video. So when you're moving, you'll see a little error kind of reprojection. So basically it's kind of fixed that. So that is pretty good with the positioning, time warping and everything. So quite a few changes and improvements, and we just have to get updates for these from the developers to enable that, it looks like. And pretty cool for VR today. A lot of cool stuff from Nintendo, from PlayStation VR, and even Oculus VR. So a lot of cool stuff today, and good stuff. And Lulu says, I heart VR. VR probably hearts you. So pretty cool there. And we will have another episode tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific with some more tech and game news. Today was more VR tech game behind the scenes stuff, but pretty cool. And we will be signing out. Pew 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 pew.